Good morning, folks. Now, some of you may already know that I'm in a process of publishing an audiobook by the name of Tales from the Little Black Book, One Man's Journey on the Dating Scene. Now, I've been watching some tutorials on how to upload my audiobook. I mean, all this is new to me. I've actually written the book already. I've posted it on Amazon, but I realized that I'm much more talented and I can express myself way, way better in sound than I can in text. You will see some examples of this in a little while shortly. Anyhow, now watching the tutorials, a lot of people have said, "Oh, the one thing you can't do is get a phone and start recording your story. You need to hire a studio and hire a narrator." Now, I'm not going to tell anybody how they should and shouldn't do something, for starters, right? Because I'm going to talk about my story and my journey on the dating scene. So I don't have money for a narrator. I don't have money for a studio. And I was left with one of two choices. Choice number one, because I don't have money for a narrator and a studio, scrap the project. Don't bother do it. Choice number two, use what tools I had at hand to tell my story. Fortunately, I am quite skillful with sound effects. And thanks to my brother, he uploaded a audio mix program called SoundForge. And for years, I've been mixing my own music, and I put my talent into my narrating skills. Anyway, so obviously I've decided to go ahead with it because I thought to myself, well, hold on a minute. What? Supposing now you've got a something of value to give to the general public, and you've allowed your lack of funds to prevent that story from getting out. Wouldn't it be a shame? Isn't it better to let the general public for themselves decide whether my story is something worth listening to or not, rather than now? I don't mean to be rude when I say this. The last thing I want is some soulless yuppie who can't relate to a bro like me deciding for the general public, or deciding for on the general public's behalf what they should and shouldn't listen to. Okay, so that's the reason why I decided, yeah, I'm going to go for it. Michael Jordan, he said, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So I thought, well, I've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Because I said to myself, I'd rather do it and fail than not do it and wonder, well, what could have happened if I did do it. So that's the reason why. So I've done everything contrary to what the advice is in terms of I use the mobile phone. I've done my best to keep the sound consistent, but where I covered myself in the introduction, I've been very honest. I've been very upfront. I've explained, look, this was the situation, that I didn't have access to a recording studio. I don't have money to pay a narrator. Plus, I put in my own sound effects. So I used a variety of mobile phones with the aid of my talent using sound effects. So the point being is, which one is it? Are you interested in what I've got to say, or are you going to pay a load of attention to the cosmetics? Because even though the sound is fairly consistent, it's not totally consistent. But I think myself, judging by the feedback that I've had from the samples that I've put on YouTube, for the few people that's actually listened to the book, it's extremely, extremely positive. And this is total strangers. Now, I just give a quick summary of my book. Basically, it's a 40-year journey that starts off with me as a 10-year-old when I had my first glimpse into the adult dating world. It talks about my teenage years where I battled with low self-esteem and a lack of confidence to becoming a man who has more confidence than the average person. My journey covers an insight into the adult entertainment world, not porn, not a porn star, and the adult entertainment world. It covers subjects such as racism, mixed couples, historic events. It has educational facts with a splash of comedy. I think that I think my story is quite unique, to be honest with you, if I may say so myself. And I think the style that my book is recorded in, it is quite unique as well. So I think to myself, I think I'll be a fool to myself to deny the public access to what I've got to offer. That's what I've got to think. That's what I think. Anyway, I shall give you a sample of some of the sound effects that I've placed in my book. And this is the reason why I'm uploading my book, because I think it's a shame. It's a shame not to do it just because I don't have the funds or the access or the contacts. I've said all this in the introduction of my book. So thank you very much, and watch this space. I shall let you know the next stage of my progress. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Welcome to the Tales from the Little Black Book, one man's journey on the dating scene. Make yourselves comfortable, strap yourselves in, for this journey will have twists and turns, bumps and lumps, turbulence and joyrides. Chapter 36, The Pit of Sorrow. Chapter 49.
Are you coming back tonight? Are you coming back tonight? Are you coming back tonight?
Chapter 67.
I'll fight you for him. I'll fight you for him. I'll fight you for him. I'll fight you for him.
Probably don't like working with niggers. Then we both started to chant it together. Probably don't like working with niggers. Probably don't like working with niggers. Probably don't like working with niggers. Guaranteed action. So, of course, being a red-blooded male, I went with the highest bidder. Sold to the blondie.